There is an air of uncertainty and anxiety within this government. Many believe that sooner than later there is going to be a cabinet reshuffle that includes even the parastatals. Some are even exaggerating that it could even touch on the ambassadors. But one thing that is really being spoken about within the streets is that there is looming purge. Allow me to go straight to one of the very closest allies of William Ruto, Oscar Sudi. Oscar Sudi on his Twitter handle is saying this: I am finalizing on an earth-shaking report that will expose government officers, majorly heads of procurement in parastatals and ministries, who are favoring their own companies under proxies to scoop multi-million government tenders. These well-known individuals are discriminating against administrating legit businessmen by locking them out of public government tenders despite being qualified. I will be calling out these culprits one by one who have our ministries in a chokehold. Let us hold it there and go to another publication that I want us to look at. Someone is giving us this report here, and I must say that I cannot confirm the authenticity. But this is what is being said, that there is a letter on 5th that was written to the Chief Executive Officer, Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, Integrity Center, Valley Road. And it says, Dear Mr. Twalib Barak, request for vetting of nominees for cabinet positions. In line with our constitutional mandate to ensure transparency and integrity in the appointment of high-ranking public officials, we hereby submit a list of individuals nominated for cabinet positions with request for your commission's vetting. Please review each nominee's background in accordance with the ethical and legal standards established for public office. This process is essential to maintain public trust and uphold the standards required of our cabinet members. Now, when you go to the names, you realize that you really doubt this list and the source. They are saying that the nominees for vetting are Honorable Miss Charity Ngilu, Honorable Mr. Junet Mohammed, Mrs. Christina Pat Kenyatta, Honorable Mrs. Jennifer Shamala, Honorable Mr. Mutai Kagwe, Honorable Mr. Okia Mutata, Honorable Mr. Murara Kibaso, and Honorable Mr. Kanini Keka. I mean, to me, there are names there. Like, let's just finish before we go that we respectfully request that your findings be submitted by Friday, 8th November 2024 to enable further proceedings within the stipulated timeline. Thank you for your cooperation and commitment to promoting ethical governance. We look forward to your comprehensive report on the nominees. It is signed there. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I've read 2 reports. One that I cannot authenticate, but the other one is from Oscar Sudi. Now, if you look at this, someone knows very well that ODM was demanding the position of Interior. And so they're including Junet Mohammed's name for it to look authentic. Now, if you go to Twitter, the same Twitter, you will realize that Uhuruto handshake is trending at number 2. Oscar Sudi is also trending there. And this Uhuruto is trending because the name of Mutai Kagwe, who was a very close ally of Kenyatta, has been included, and of course, Christina Pratt Kenyatta. So they are trying to allude that Kenyatta and William Ruto have buried the hatchet and they are beginning afresh. Their people are being included into the government. But then when you look at Okia Mutata, the reason why, even if you don't go further, this list is total hogwash, if you ask me, is because Okia Mutata, the way he's been criticizing this government, cannot accept to be in the list of nominees to the cabinet. That is number one. Number two, Okia is serving the people of Busia as a senator. He's one of the people who has been a thorn in the flesh to this government. So it cannot. Morara Kibasu cannot be appointed, if you ask me, because it will not add any value to William Samoei Ruto. The appointments are awarded in terms of those who help in one way or the other. Of course, Charity Ngilu can be there, and Kanini Kega, surely. If you want to know that this list is neither here nor there, Kanini Kega is a nominated member of parliament at IALA, East African Legislative Assembly. So this list, to me, is dead on arrival. But let us go back to Oscar Sudi, who is telling us that he's finalizing an earth-shaking report that will expose government officers, majorly heads of procurement in parastatals and ministries, who are favoring their own companies under proxies to scoop multinational government tenders. I mean, when you look at this, someone was commenting that it seems that people no longer, respect phone calls from above. That when some people call and they want tenders, they are no longer, their calls are no longer regarded. And therefore, Oscar Sudi is a man who is very irate. Remember, it was once said that Oscar Sudi has been given the contract by Johnson Sakaja in the management of waste in Nairobi. A very lucrative government. People have been there. The other time, it was Ferdinand Waititu whose lorries were being used. Now, it is said that Oscar Sudi is part of the team that is managing, that is involved in waste management in Nairobi. And of course, they are very close to William Ruto. The other time when we were told about G2G oil deal, that lady was since vanished. I don't know, Amboyo, who was saying that when she was called to an office, Oscar Sudi and Murkomen was there, and Oscar Sudi was representing the big man who is William Ruto. So when you see Oscar Sudi now complaining, it seems someone is not listening to the orders. This is an indication that heads are soon rolling. Now, when many people read this, with the current political situation, they concluded that there is a reshuffle. Remember, since the broad-based government was formed, the government is targeting reshuffling the cabinet to include, because the ODM has maintained that they want that position of the Interior Cabinet Secretary. Opondo Kaluma, a very close ally to Raila Amolo Odinga, on his Twitter handle a few days ago said that even the PSS must be dissolved so that they are redistributed, and they want a fair share from that too. Not only that, the House committees are also being targeted, and the name of Ndindi Nyoro has been trending for long because it has been said by people like Geoffrey Ruku, Kimani Chungwa said it on the floor of the National Assembly, that there are people who are incompetent and they don't work to fulfill the wishes of Kenyans in those committees, and they should be removed. So there's this air, there is an air of uncertainty that sooner or later there's going to be a reshuffle. And that is why people keep on speculating, because when Kenyans realize there is a loophole, they keep on speculating. Now, Sudi is also giving us, is adding, even more pressure that not only are we targeting the House committees or the PSS or the ministers, but we are also targeting now those who are in public offices, the procurement officers, and this tells you that something is cooking in the pot. Now, it is also very funny that Sudi can tell us that there are procurement officers who are favoring their companies through proxies, yet we are in a government that we know very well is doing the very thing. If we start scrutinizing those the government officials in this country today, beginning from the head, the president, all the way to the smallest unit of the government, you will realize that they are cutting deals. The other time Raila told us that the G2G oil deal was meant to enrich a few pockets. We have even been told that when there was an exam scandal last year, the government had taken away the tender from a UK company and gave it to an Indian company that was ready to give kickbacks. So we know that if there is a place where corruption and wasted is entrenched, is in this government, and it begins from the top. So for Sudi to start telling us that they're procurement officers, it is just an extension what is happening at the head. The ODM has since said that they helped stabilize this government. They are the ones, when Raila spoke, that ended the Gen Z's protest that we have spoken about. They are the ones that helped William Ruto to gain the requisite number that was needed to kick out Rigathi Gachagua. They have sanitized several policies. They are no longer talking about the opaque launching of the She and Sha, though it is something that even the doctors are crying foul about. They have sanitized Adani deal, and so they are saying that there must be purge, there must be reshuffling so that they're included. It is also understood that the reshuffling is meant to punish those who are not able to toe the line. The defiant MPs like Kiaru Member of Parliament, Ndindi Nyoro, he refused to take part in the host of Rigathi Gachagua. So we are living in a very precarious moment. We don't know what will happen next. Even some of the members of the cabinet are not sure whether they will wake up there being still being in the cabinet, because things are cooking. Do you support any reshuffling? Because even when the reshuffle comes, we will not be given people who are competent. They're going to look at their interest first. When Raila said that he was giving William Ruto experts to help him run the country, we are now, for example, in the Ministry of Finance, we are now bringing back some parts of the Finance Bill 2024 that were rejected and led the Gen Z to go to the streets. Indeed, Barack Muluka said that this is a government of gangsters, and this is what we are witnessing. Let's wait and see whether there is going to be any reshuffle soon.